people of the internet. My name is JD Shadow, and I'm about to kill a chicken. I'm playing Minecraft, so sue me. I'm also doing the state of the channel address because we need to talk a little bit. So, yeah, I think the elephant in the room is going to be the thing that happened with Cinematic Venom and me. And let's just say that I got some explaining to do. Now, if no one knows what this is, I made a video about last month, and he responded to it last week. And I kind of got a little bit heated about that. Not necessarily because he responded to it, and I'll get to the response in a more formal video. I made a 3-hour long reaction video to that, and I posted that, and it wasn't received really well. So I took that down, and so that's going to be a much shorter formal video to that in a way that I'm more comfortable doing. So there will be that. Now, as far as my reaction to the reaction is concerned, I need to talk a little bit about my behavior with that, because I expressed some things that are not, some behaviors that are not usual of me, and I don't want that to make it sound like that I'm dismissive of some things, or that I usually act like that, because I don't. So if I'm, and there's a reason why I did that. It's because, one, because I believe outrage culture has gotten to a point where you kind of need to call it what it is and to really be militant, because they are. But at the same time, you probably shouldn't do that because of what that means. So maybe I'm making a mistake by doing that. But the other big thing that I did was, like, I just went off. It was a bit of a bad point, because there was a lot of personal things I was dealing with in real life at that point in time. So, and you could tell, you could have probably been able to tell that I was not in the best place right at that point in time, and I kind of acted out. I kind of went into a dark and creepy area in my brain, and that's not something I should be doing. And maybe it's something that I might need to talk a little bit with, not with you guys, because you guys need to have more positive stuff from me, but by somebody who knows what they're doing. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, enough of the negative stuff. What are you doing here? How about you give me a mutton and some wool, because I need some. Alright, anyway, let's get to, let me see what I'm thinking about talking about. Oh yeah, there's been some news. So Erod has been kind of a blocker. Blockbuster Buster is living up to his blocking name. So the first thing first about Cinematic Venom, that he doesn't seem like a type of guy that wants to have confrontation, but at the same time, he seems somebody who's generally believe what he says. Maybe. I mean, here's the thing. The reason why I'm saying that maybe my respect of him going up a little bit is because when I was expressing those dark thoughts on Reddit stuff, which I should be doing anyway, he did reach out to me. So, I mean, kudos to him. He scored a few points there. I still really disagree with him on a lot of this stuff, and we're probably never going to see eye to eye to this, but at the very least, he doesn't seem like the type of guy who's going to just let you, like, feel as though you don't belong or something like that. I mean, at the very least, it takes a big guy to do that, especially when I said some of the things that I've said. So there you go. But, I mean, the thing about Erod, let's talk about him for a second. So there was some news. Apparently what happened was this all started through a tweet about the Black Widow movie announcement. He posted something on Twitter, and then somebody came back and said something about, hey, we knew this since last summer, or something along those lines. And then he came back with probably one of the most over-the-top reactions to that tweet I've ever seen anybody do for a tweet like that. Saying, oh, you don't know shit about Marvel. You need to shut your mouth. You don't know anything. I'm looking at that. A lot of people looking at that saying, what did he do wrong? He just... First of all, he showed receipts by a screenshot. And then he then tweets and says that he got blocked by him over this. Now, that in itself is not really news. Well, it might be news saying as though, okay, this guy's kind of a dick. But then Cinematic Venom comes back and says, hey, it's alright, because he blocked me too. Because here's what Erod thinks. He thinks Cinematic Venom brought vitriol to him because he endorsed the documentary. So what he did what anybody that's named Erod would do. He blocked Cinematic Venom, took down his endorsement video, and said, hey, you better not do this. You better not be pretentious or something like that. I'm paraphrasing because I don't know what I don't have the tweets in front of me. But when I read that, my first reaction was, this guy is really showing why this thing died in the first place. It wasn't because no one believed him or anything like that. It's because they had questions. They had follow-up questions that I don't think anybody was ready for them asking. And when they did, and people started to see the darker side of it. And it was more, okay, this is what outrage culture is becoming. Is that it's showing not necessarily, like, Change the Channel as itself, but rather of outrage culture finding this. And it's really becoming something it should not be coming. It should not be. And so people left it and people moved on, not because they didn't care about it, because they didn't want to have any part of the darker side of this. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people left. And this is showing the reason why people left. And by the way, my inventory is a mess here, so forgive me for that. But the other thing is that the reason people left is because a lot of people were starting to ask some questions, which they have a right to do. And there was people who started to talk on behalf of Channel Awesome saying, hey, this actually is not a bad place to work. And then all of a sudden people were like, oh, you just working for them. And that's what the problem was. That's what the problem became. So it got really nasty really quickly. And what happened with this is that Erod is probably reminding people of that side of it. The side of it that people didn't want to be a part of. People left for that. And that's why I don't think it's a very smart move to act like that. Now, I'm pretty sure he probably did get a lot of vitriolic comments, and you should not be doing that. Nobody should be having to tolerate that. That should be the default status of any human being, to not just be refusing of tolerating it, but also to not be to condemn it. To condemn stuff like that. I mean, you shouldn't doubt that somebody is going to condemn it. That should be a default status. You should expect people to do that. So, yeah. I mean, and to that effect, I also want to bring up the fact that if anybody is actually harassing Cinematic Venom, because I did see another tweet he made in which he said he needed some time off of social media because things are getting kind of dark. He's kind of going into a dark place on his mind as well. And that shouldn't be either. We need to be better. We need to be a lot better than what we are right now. And I'm hoping it's alright. I mean, I don't see eye to eye with him on anything, but that doesn't mean that humanity has become lost on me. I mean, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes, and we all should be a little bit sympathetic. We all should be a little bit kinder to people. And unfortunately, we kind of lose that anymore. So we need to be better at that. And He reached out to me, so I'm hoping he's okay. I'm hoping he's going to come out of that okay. Now, that being said, let me get to this Erod thing, because here's the main problem I have with this. This is the main problem he has right at the moment. He's probably getting backwards while people are criticizing it. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't go into vitriolic natures, but at the same time, he put two things into one video. What he did was, okay, so he decided to say that he's going to endorse Cinematic Venom's video, which is fine. I don't think anybody's really mad at him for that. They might disagree with some of the things that Venom said, and that is okay. We're all allowed to disagree with each other. We should have good reasons for that, but we should all are allowed to disagree. But here's where he got wrong. It was the ultimatum. That was what people are upset about, is the fact that he went further than this and saying, you know what? If you support Channel Awesome, or you support any of those creators that are currently employed with Channel Awesome, I have nothing to say to you, but don't come and say that you support us too, because it can't work like that. You have to pick a side, basically. That's basically what he said. And here's the thing, no one wants to do that. There are a lot of people who simply don't care about the drama. They want to move on from it. They want to just watch a video and be happy with what they see. They don't want to have to pick a side on something that they want to have nothing to do with. And they had too many questions to say, hey, I'm not sure if we're hearing everything about these stories. I'm out. You're forcing them into not only picking a side, but to get involved in something they may not want to be involved in. Now, of course, as YouTubers, we kind of need to talk about certain things because that's what we do. Especially with my channel, who I do a lot of stuff on this. So, yeah, I mean, we're a little different. But as far as, like, making people choose a side, you just don't do that. Why do that to people? Why make people make a choice? I mean, especially on about personal channels, because now you're saying that not only are you not allowed to support Channel Awesome as a whole, as a company anymore, but now you're trying to say that you want to take down personal content creators. And that's a really dangerous thing to say, is that you're targeting individual people just because they're associated. Now, to be fair, they did defend Channel Awesome. They did defend that whole thing with the read comments. And you can take what you want with that. I have my own opinions about that. I believe that they have every right to say what they want to say, and that's probably one of the problems that I want to get into in the video I'm making. But as far as that's concerned, I mean, you can't do that. It's not going to go over well. And that's what people were upset about. Now, did people go too far with some of the comments? Of course. You saw my reactions to some of the comments I was getting. People were getting too far with it, and that's why some people pieced out of the debate, because it just seemed as though no one was budging and no one was going to listen to anybody, which is par for the course with outrage culture as a whole. They just don't listen to anybody. They don't want to listen to anybody. They think they're correct, and that's mainly the problem I have with the document as a whole as well, is because not only are we saying that, no, I mean, okay, let me start it over, because I saw these two and I was thinking that they were gonna come and get me, and so I kind of got distracted there. But anyway, let me start over there. I think the reason why a lot of people didn't want to talk about it anymore is because it seemed as though everything got conflated as one big problem. And what I mean by that is the one major thing that is wrong with the document is that it's just one document. Now you may think, what do you mean by that? If you notice, whenever somebody brings up the petty stuff, I mean, like the Sega Genesis stuff or the Applebee's stuff that Brad Jones was talking about, and that he, I guess, mocked or something like that, what would happen is that someone comes back and says, but what about the sexual misconduct allegations? And I'm saying sexual misconduct because it's a catch-all thing. What about this and the harassment and the bullying? And wait a minute, we're not dismissing that necessarily, but we're seeing that some of that stuff, it's just, even Cinematic Venom said it was, some of that was petty. That doesn't mean all of it was. There was some serious allegations there. But the problem is that a lot of people saw that it was one document highlighting everything, the petty stuff and the more serious stuff that any business would actually go down for. And it's probably conflated in such a way that it doesn't matter what you say, they're going to have a quick answer for it. If you say, hey, it's just petty stuff, then they can just they can weaponize the sexual misconduct case. And I don't know if I should use the word weaponize there, but that's what it seems like to me, that they're weaponizing it, which is not right. We shouldn't be doing that either. So, yeah, I mean, that, in my mind, it should be 2 documents. It should have been the less serious stuff, the stuff that, okay, I can get over it. This is just a sign that some people were just not nice people or stuff like that. And the general consensus is Mike Machado, at the very least at that point in time, was it being a big dick to people. And we could probably all attest to that. And we've all been like that at some point in our lives. Maybe it was stress and stuff like that. But then there could have been another document highlighting some of the more serious stuff, like the Jew warrior allegations. And yeah, there's still allegations as it pertains to the court of law. So there's that. And I'll pull that up in a later video. But I think it should have been 2 documents. I think by doing that, you weaponize that in such a way that no one can fairly critique what you said or vet what it is you said. And yet, I mean, the video itself, I want to elaborate more about my other videos. This is the one thing that I think the major complaint is, that I didn't go into detail. I believed conspiracy theories and I believed all this stuff, and I didn't go into great detail, and I didn't really do enough to show my side of it. And the main flaw of that is that I didn't really push the other videos. When this first broke, I made 5 other videos about the change of channel thing. And I went into my viewpoints as to why I didn't believe certain people and why I doubted certain things. Not doubting victims, but doubting the fallout from it, or doubting how people responded to it. If people did anything about what happened there. And there's a lot of questions, and there's a lot of things that were still being reported. There's still a lot of things that were being shown, so we didn't have all the answers at that point in time. But I made 5 videos, one of them a long video, in which I really did highlight some of my personal problems with everything that was going on, and why I personally had a problem with what people said. And it was a little bit personal with me, because Dan Olsen in particular belonged to the Crash Override Network, who talked crap about somebody who I consider a very cool person, a very good friend of mine. And I hope that she still thinks that I am. I don't think we're on bad terms at all, but yeah, I mean, you guys know who that is, Jenny Barrage, who created Base Gamer, and And she got married recently, by the way. She did. And did you I mean, I don't know if she's on social media as much anymore. I mean, I wish she still was, because she's a sweetheart. I mean, if you ever talk to her, like, one-on-one, she's been there for me for a good bit. And, I mean, I have no right to have her as an ally, have her as a friend, but I do. At least I think I do. I still think I do. So, yeah. I'm getting a little choked up by it. I get a little choked up when I talk about friends. So, there you go. And I mean, yeah, people stood by me through that whole thing that happened. Please, thank you. And yeah, that's something that I believe needs to be addressed, because yeah, I'm not angry about people disagreeing with me on the video. It's just the vitriolic way that some people went about it was, I mean, it's not unnecessary. You should be doing that. We got to be better at disagreeing with people and incite conversation. We need to do more conversation and stop thinking that everything is a life or death thing. Here's the thing, if somebody has maybe something they can say about the Channel Awesome thing, for instance, and they say, hey, you know what, maybe I have a different perspective, or I came through it in a different way, or maybe I didn't, maybe I have a different way, and there's all the sheep are like kind of loving me right now, so yeah, there's that. I have a lot. This is my barn, by the way. I used to fence everybody and like separate things, but you know what? Screw it. I don't care anymore. Let them roam around. Maybe we could get some like sheep on cow action at some point. Maybe Minecraft will put that into the game where we can have hybrid animals. I don't know. Anyway, why am I talking about cows and sheep getting it on this video? Why am I doing that? Oh yes, Minecraft and it's my video. So anyway, we gotta be better at talking to one another, and I do believe everybody's got a right to say something. I mean, you notice in the document, there's people who talked about the people. I like Dr. Gonzo's a big one that everybody keeps ignoring, and I've seen people who like will say, hey, Lindsay is a POS or Holly's not to be trusted. They will go to talk about Dr. Gonzo and say, hey, I believe this guy, because he also says about the clicks. He also says stuff that I understand, because I've been under circles where this guy's been harassing them. So I may not know much about what his dealings with Channel Awesome, but I know about his dealings with maybe the Kick Vic stuff, or that other thing that I'm not going to repeat, because people lose their minds whenever that word is uttered. You know what I'm talking about. Starts with a G and ends with an E. But yeah, I mean, it's and the reason why I'm trying to like think about what I'm going to say. First of all, I'm live, by the way. Oh, jeez. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. I got knocked back in Smite, or not Smite, but knocked back in Sharpness on this. I don't know where I got knocked back. I don't usually use it. I don't know why I put it on there. Sharpness 2 is pretty good, but I got to get more bookshelves here, and maybe something with Silk Touch, so I don't have to worry about them being broken apart. I don't know why I don't get Silk Touch on these. I don't know why. It's efficiency. There's efficiency. There's... I get Smite. I get Unbreaking. I never get Silk Touch for some reason. I don't know if it's... I can't remember if it's something you can get through the crafting table or not. Or not the crafting table, but the enchanting table or not. But anyway, to that, I mean, what was I talking about? I mean, we do have to get better, though. We got to get better at discussing things. Because there's some people who might have different perspectives about how they know people, or why they don't like people who like, hey, I don't know anybody, these people from Channel Awesome, but I know these people because they talked about us badly and didn't know anything about us before they said something about us and stuff like that. So people gotta be more mindful of that. But the other big thing, well, and actually, you know what, I might save this for another video, but I think the gist of this is that people need to watch the other videos, and I didn't highlight that enough, and that's my fault because I didn't really hammer home, because the whole thing with the other videos was in his video when I said that, but he didn't really go into great detail. He didn't say anything like, oh, you had these other videos. That would have really been something to drive home, and I should have done that, and I didn't. And yeah, it made people just not go there and believe that I didn't have all the answers, that I didn't watch the documentary, which I did read the document. I did read the document, and yeah, there needs to be questions asked. I mean, even if things do seem cut and dry, you need to ask questions, because I think what's been going on is that it's all one big document highlighting everything, and what's going on is that we're at an impasse as to how to address that there are some petty stuff in there alongside more serious allegations, and because we're having more serious allegations up into it, people are able to counter a good argument, which is these are some petty arguments with, oh, that means you're dismissing some of the more serious stuff. No, we never are. But we have questions we have to ask, whether or not it's black and white as it seems, or is there something about the fallout that is not being told to us, which I believe that there is something that we're not hearing about the thing. I just realized something, that this is really small. I may want to expand this a little bit. I might later. But anyway, that's why I need silk touch, because those bookcases are really, really close to that the enchanting table. But you know what? Let me just. You know what? I need access for that. That's why. You know what? I forgot why I was the one to do that in the first place. But the main thing is that, yeah, I think the conflating is a problem, and I'm gonna touch upon that on another video. But here's the main gist I want to get here is that I hear you guys. I hear you. It wasn't that well, and I think it's probably because I rushed through it. And the thing about Erod and some of the things I said, it's more that I didn't touch upon, like, hey, I made other videos about it. Like, I did say that, but I kind of made a glancing blow about it, and I didn't really drive that point home. Other things is that, okay, I really just didn't do a good job at highlighting some of the things that were on my mind about it. But what I could have done is saying, you know what, if you want to know more, you should go watch that other video. I did put an iCard there. I could have said, hey, I could have really drove point home, like, hey, watch this, watch this, watch this part of it, watch this part of it. And I could really have said that. What am I doing here? I'm trying to remember how to tame a horse, because there's been a few horses there. I want to tame one. But one of the things that I keep that I've, what am I saying? But I could have really said I've already addressed these concerns in the other video, or I did this in the other video, I did that in the other video. That way people will no doubt be tempted to say, hey, there's this other video that's there, maybe I should watch it. And yeah, I mean, yeah, and granted, I don't know if the volume level was right on that video, but at the same time, oh good lord, there's pillagers there. No, 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 and you know what, I'm going to stay far away from them, because those guys are a problem. Those guys are a problem. Because I don't have much health and I need to eat. Eating in real life too. So anyway, I need to get off the subject. But you will hear this in the video I'm making about it, because he did get some things right. He did call me out on some things that he should have, but there's other things that I believe that we need to discuss, not just him, but as a whole, because the EROT thing is a microcosm of something that became a really big problem to change the channel, and why some people started to like wean away from it. It's not because they didn't forget it, because I believe that they started to show that they weren't as innocent as they seemed. There were a lot of problems that they were to what they were doing. And there were a lot of questions that never did get answered. So, yeah, you'll hear that. And I'm hoping I do the right thing. I mean, there are people who are not going to be convinced either way. And they're not going to, and they're just going to be angry that you disagreed with them or that you question it. But at the same time, I mean, we need to be better at handling disagreements. I mean, it is a sensitive topic, especially with the sexual misconduct allegations. You really need to be careful. You need to really dance around that carefully if you're going to talk about the more intricate details about that. Because, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of inner plot problems about it. Because, and to be fair, no one's saying that they're dismissing the victims' testimonies. I think it's, in my mind, it's the fallout that they're having questions about. It's the claim that Channel Awesome never did anything to deal with the situation once they knew about it, or when they did know about it. It's that part of it they're having a bit of problem accepting or believing that they didn't do anything, that they waited way too long to address it. There's Enderman. I hate these. I hate how these things are. It's like, in your face. I'm getting in your face. It's an Enderman in your face. Okay, so anyway, I want to talk about something a little bit more positive. And yes, Cinder Pearl. So one thing more positive is that one of the things that I want to be doing is that me and Luna TK, I've been wanting to do a collaboration with her for quite some time. And we've been trying to get things planned together, and we think we got something. Why are there monsters here? We think we got something planned out, but here's the thing: is that it's now coming to me to find the time to get there, and it's not that I don't want to do it. It's the notion that it's the issue that the one free time that we have is a weekend, is a Saturday, where we could do something to record something, so record a collaboration, because it's going to be a reaction to something. It's going to be, and we want to react to something together. But the problem here is the Saturdays are also the days where I get pulled away like you wouldn't believe. Real life tends to take a hold when you least want it to, and unfortunately that's when real life tends, like, as like, hey, let's see how many ways we can get JD to adult. Which, yeah, that's not really my forte, is adulting. You can ask anybody. That's really not my forte. So, yeah, I've been wanting to do something with her for quite some time, because she's been doing stuff with Michelle, with one of our other friends, and she and her have done a good bit of things, and we've been wanting to do something together ourselves for quite some time, me and Luna. And that's been something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and unfortunately, right in the moment where it's just me trying to find the point in time where I can safely know I'll have the time to do it without being pulled away by something, by real life. But once we do that, once we figure that, once we get all that sorted out, then it's on. It is on. And she said she's got a series that she's going to force me to watch something, apparently. I can't wait to see what this is. It's a lot more positive. Oh, okay. Now, let me get to the other thing. About other content. Let me get to that because, yeah, there's other things I do other than this. First of all, let me just get to the one comment I did get. Is that because of the bias that I had, or perceived bias that he didn't want to watch any other content I had? That's unfortunate because I do a lot of other content and I don't like to see people, because of my opinions, be of one thing, be the driving reason why somebody doesn't want to watch me. And it does hurt. I mean, I don't know if there's anything I can do about it, but it does hurt. And I don't want that to be something that, like, I dwell on, but it's also something that people shouldn't do because there's other content that's out there. I mean, you don't have to agree with people, but understand that they might be coming from a different perspective. I'm going on it again. More positive stuff. Okay, so anyway, I'm just that. But I mean, we need to, I think, as a whole. Okay, other content. I'm dwelling on this again. Other content. Well, there is other things I want to react to. I don't know when Ladybug's gonna come back. Season 3? I don't know when it's going to be available to the public, but here's the other thing. Disney has taken over the series, and it's going to be on Disney Channel, I think. And how in the world are we going to do that? That's going to be problematic. And it's not just because when are they going to show it? Are they going to show it on their on-demand stuff that we can watch it? But I get enough copyright claims as it is through that. I don't know what's going on with On Entertainment that they feel the need to copyright claim every little thing that we do Ladybug wise. But why no? But when that takes over, what then? What in the world happens then? Not only are we going to get On Entertainment becoming draconian to us, but now we're going to have Disney on our tail. That's not going to be fun. All we want to do is react to give you a indication of how the episode was. We don't want to go through all that. So we'll see how that goes. I want to keep doing the reactions. I want to keep doing them. Because they are probably one of the most watched content I have. And for that matter, that's the most watched content that Luna has. By the way, watch the other content she does. That's the other thing. Please watch the other content that we do, because we do a lot of stuff. So, and it's not all just one thing. I try to diversify a lot of stuff myself. So it's something that we strive on, to try to get other content out there, to suggest other stuff, and you would enjoy it. You would really much enjoy it. So please find the time to do that. 9 ender pearls. If I can find some blaze rods. I do have one blaze rod, but I don't. You know what? Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Oh, what the heck? Okay. 2. Thank you. Oh. Let me make 2 more Eyes of Ender. find that stronghold. But as far as other stuff is concerned, I need to get Hulu and Netflix subscriptions back. And it's not easy to do. So I might push a Patreon a little bit more in order to get more content out, because yeah, that allows us to get more content out and allows us to make money when we can't from YouTube. So there's that we can do. I've been thinking about a merch store. I don't know if that's going to be viable just yet. So we'll see how that goes. Well, and tell me in the comment section what you think about these ideas. I'm going on 40 minutes. I don't want to go much further with this. But there's some other series I want to do. There's some series that I've been thinking about doing. And there's some series I want to get back to. I want to get back to Log Horizon. I really want to get back to that because I love that series and I want to get to it. And I kind of stopped at a really good point in that series, but Crunchyroll, that's a whole different roll there. Crunchyroll subscription needs to come back. So yeah, there's that. And also, yeah, I mean, I wanted to do one other series, and I've been wanting to watch the series for a little bit since it came out, but I'm not gonna say what it is just yet. It's a beloved franchise that I wanted to do again, so I want to get back to doing that kind of content. And yeah, I want to do more positive content, but I also want to do content that is informative. Maybe I can branch out the channels a little bit. We'll see how that goes. What? Anything else? Oh, yeah. I want to... This whole Vice News thing, the biggest detriment that I've been having as far as the cinematic Venom stuff, drama that's been going on, is the whole thing with distracting me from the Vice News thing and the 8chan thing. Because I think that's a big deal. And I implore people to watch those videos, if nothing else, because I do believe that that's something that's really going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Because it doesn't seem like Jim's particularly backing down, and he shouldn't. But that's going to be a real big deal if it ends up becoming to where the police say, hey, you did violate the law. Holy, that's going to be big. And it's because of that I really wish I could do interviews. I want to do interviews, and I really would like to have an interview with him. I know he's really stingy about interviews and stuff like that, but here's the thing. I think I've covered this fairly. I think I've covered this in the way that should be covered. And I do believe that he holds the key to a lot of things. So I would love to do an interview with him. I would love to do an interview and talk with him about a lot of things that have been going on with him and his site, and why these people decided they were going to come to his house in the first place. So, and here's the thing with Tamara, I would really love to do an interview with that too. Tamara Chambers, the Channel Awesome girl. I would really love to do an interview with her. I would really love to do interviews. I would really like to do those kinds of things. I want to do more stuff. Why? So yeah, that's the state of the channel. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Do not worry about that. There was one person who said, you're canceled. I hate cancel culture. I think that's the worst thing that we could have ever done. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can be angry about somebody, but be angry about them for the right reasons and let them have a chance to recover. Let them have a chance to rectify the situation. Don't you... Why are we... I hate this cancel culture because we just abuse the right to do stuff like that. We just abuse it. And the more I look at it, the more I hate it. Well, I've been hating a lot of stuff that goes on in social media lately. We need to get better at all this. So anyway, in closing, I apologize for, the shoddiest way I went about that video, Cinematic Venom. I'll try to do better next time. We all done things that we think we're good, but but at the end of the day, we could have done better at. I'll try to clear some things up more formally, but at the same time, I need to do other things. I need to do more terracotta. I don't know where I got that. I need to do content that I enjoy, that other people are going to be positive about, and not just do things that get people riled up. I don't want to do clickbait. I don't want to do that. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to do things that people are going to be informed about when I talk about it, even if they don't agree with my opinion about it. The goal is to inform, not to entice and get people riled up. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching this. If you let me know in the comment section what you think. I hope it's civil from here on out. I hope you guys are a little bit more understanding about why I did some of the things. I kind of rushed through that a lot more than probably what I should have. I'm killing cows. So yeah, I'm sorry if I rushed through that. I'll try to do better. It doesn't mean that I'm changing my opinion about the whole CTC thing. I still believe that there were a lot of issues with how things were told and how things were addressed. But I think in a separate video I'll go into more detail about that. But anyway, more positive stuff in the future, and stay tuned, because once we get that everything sorted out, how we're gonna do this, you're gonna see me and Luna TK react to something, and you're probably gonna really laugh your butt off. You're gonna really enjoy it. Why? Because me and her are really good, really tight, and she's been there throughout everything, and I don't deserve her as a friend. I really don't. But I'm glad that she is. But one thing I wonder is, where's my coal? I can't find my coal anywhere all of a sudden. Where did it go? This is the problem with not sorting your inventory, because this tends to happen. Where's my coal at? Please don't tell me I don't have any coal. Oh boy. Well, I know what I'm doing once I get done here. Okay. Until next time, my name is JD Shadow. I am out of coal. That just happened.